Hey everybody, welcome back to Mark's Honest Reviews. Today we are back on our Amazon top 10 coffees. I've got something a little bit different because we're looking at a decaf coffee. Some of you out there probably hate decaf, some of you may love it, and some of you like me may use it as a bit of a reset. Now, the reason why I like to have a break from caffeine every now and again, probably every 3 weeks, I have a little bit of a break, and normally I reach for something like green tea. This is a fantastic green tea. I may do a review on that as well, but I actually thought I'd try out some decaf coffees for the Sage Barista Express. Now, why would you want to have a break from caffeine? Well, one of the bigger reasons is because when you start consuming caffeine all the time, you can become slightly addicted to it and it can affect your sleep. Now, lots of people don't realize they've got sleep problems because of their drinking so much caffeine, but actually when you measure your sleep or use something like a Whoop strap like I've got, you can see major results, major changes in those results. So our brain has what we call adenosine receptors, and adenosine is a chemical that makes our bodies tired and sleepy, and it just happens that caffeine, or the caffeine molecule, perfectly fits those receptors. So what will happen is your body will start producing adenosine. Your caffeine that you drink from your coffee will block those receptors, and then the adenosine can't go into your brain, which is why you feel awake and alert. But what will happen over time is your body will start to produce more adenosine, which means you have to drink more caffeine. Now that is okay if you're having a few cups a day, but I've seen this happen to other people where they start drinking lots and lots of caffeine and then they start having other health issues. So last couple of weeks I've been drinking loads of caffeine. I've had a really busy time at work and I thought now is a good time for a reset, which is why I looked at this coffee. So for today's coffee we are looking at Simmer Down. It's by Marley Coffee, which is related to Bob Marley, and I found this on Amazon. I'll leave a link below. And this is a Swiss water decaf medium roast organic whole bean. So I looked into this company and I found that it sounded really, really interesting, and it has some pretty decent reviews on Amazon. And also what I liked about it, that it was Swiss water decaf. Now, I've tried a few decafs in the past. I haven't tried too many on the Sage Barista Express, so it'll be interesting to see what this is like. But when I used to drink decaf in the past, I noticed that when it wasn't Swiss water decaf, it had a bit of a chemical taste to the coffee, which I didn't really like. So just reading the description on Amazon, this is 227 grams for $7.99, and it's founded in Jamaica in 2007 by Rowan Marley, and it's an organic coffee company, a family of Bob Marley. Simmer Down is a decaf medium roast, Swiss water, chemical-free, organic certified. And it's also 100% organic, ideal for a cafetiere, bean to cup, espresso, filter and AeroPress. And donates 2-to-1 tree planted for a non-profit organisation focused on planting trees around the world. So that's really, really cool. So they obviously do some good work as well. What I'm going to do today is, as always, I'm going to have a double shot espresso. I'm going to start off with the grind at level 5, as I always do. My burst setting is also on a set 6. So if you don't know what your burst setting is, check out the video above, which will help you out. My cup is already pre-warmed, the machine is already pre-warmed. So let's get into this. 18 grams of coffee to start off with, and we'll see how we get on. The beans don't have much of the smell, and they're very, very dark. So very, very dark roast. So we have now got 18 grams in the portafilter. The machine's ready to go. I've got my timer here, looking for a 30 to 35 second pull, and let's see how we get on. Pre-infusion. Not quite met the pressure range, but not too bad. A bit too runny for me. So I think we can go slightly finer grind. And that was about 24 seconds after I pressed the timer, so a little bit short. But let's just see what it tastes like. Okay, so this is the shot that we produced. It's quite a large shot, and obviously it was under extracted, but hasn't got much of a smell. It hasn't got a very strong smell at all. It actually tastes pretty good. It's actually got a nice flavour. Hasn't got a bitter aftertaste at all. It is quite mellow. I'd go with the description on the packet. It tastes quite mellow, easy to drink. So let's see what kind of shot we can get if we go down to maybe a 4, 18 grams again, and we'll see how we get on. All right, we're ready to go. So I've got 18 grams in, ground at ground 4. Let's see how we get on. Pressure's building up. Not quite hitting that range again, a bit too watery. "25 seconds, not ideal for me. I think that's too much volume. So I'm going to go down to this time. Let's go to take this down to a grind 2. I'm actually going to go down to a 2 this time, and let's see how we get on. All right, so we're back. Level 2 ground, 18 grams. Let's see how we get on. Nice pressure. Yes, that's a bit better for me, and that looks like a lot better shot. Looking good. The pressure's still there. And that was 32 seconds. So that for me looks spot on, and I'm happy with that. So that was 18 grams and a grind of 2. So that's the settings you need to copy if you want to use this coffee. Now, this isn't normally like me, but what I'm going to do now is I had a request from a viewer to say, can you make your next coffee into a latte or a flat white? Now, I'm not great with milk, so I normally have black coffee, but let's see how I get on. So I'll show you exactly what I do. Now, a couple of things to bear in mind. You'll normally have one of these sorts of pitchers, and that's probably the best one to use if you're going to use any milk with your coffee. But I've also got this one, which I bought from Amazon, which I like to use because what happens is if you're only making one coffee and you happen to use this large pitcher, you end up with wasted milk, because in order to get enough milk for the spout of the Sage's steamer one to go in, you need to put quite a large volume, and I don't like to waste milk. So I bought this small one. I'll leave a link again below this. It's really, really handy, does the job, works really well. And I really like it. But for today, because most of you are going to have this one, I'm going to use this one. So apologies for the slightly weird camera position, but there's nowhere else for me to put the camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my milk, and I like to add it to just below the spout level. So I've got my milk added. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my steamer wand on. Got my lovely shot waiting. So what I like to do is just get the head of the steaming wand just below the surface initially. So switch it off, stick it just below the surface and switch it back on again. And I've got it at a slight angle, so you can hear the noise of the steam. So the angle is about 45. Apologies, my camera card ran out of space and it cut off, but all I did, I've got my milk now, which looks a little bit like wet paint, and I just tapped it a couple of times. So all I'm going to do is give it a bit of a swirl, trying to keep my shot as close as I can to the milk as I pour it in. So I said I'm no expert, but this is just how I do it. And yeah, as I said, that is my idea of a kind of a flat white style coffee, and let's just see how this tastes. Okay, apart from my camera technical hitch, apologies about that, but you can get the idea. That is how I make my kind of flat whites, if you want to call it that. So cheers. That tastes really, really nice. It's not very strong. Now I've added that much milk, it's not very strong at all. Before I added the milk, it had a very kind of medium flavour, but it had some strength to it. It's hard to explain, but it had body, put it that way. It had some body to it. So it had a nice flavour profile. It wasn't bitter, and it didn't have any chemical tastes that I have noticed with decaf before. But this tastes really, really nice. It's easy to drink, and if you like your flat whites or you like adding milk to your decafs, this will be a great coffee. So it is overall a really, really good coffee. I really like it. The bag's a bit of a pain, you can't reseal it, so that's a bit annoying. But for the price, you get a decent coffee that's decaf, and I think you're gonna get that coffee flavour that you're after if you want to have a decaf coffee and have a bit of a reset. So I recommend to all of you, if you do have lots of coffee during the day, try and do a reset every couple of weeks, have at least 3 days off. You will get some detox symptoms, which is pretty much a headache. You feel like you're slightly hungover, and you might have that for a liter a day or a few hours. Drink plenty of water and you should reap the benefits of when you go back onto your caffeinated coffee again. Hope you found this video useful, guys. Please support my channel, please give it a thumbs up if you like this content. Add any comments you like, any questions you've got, and I'll catch you on the next video.